Well, hello there, and welcome back to another Mandalorian watch party. As I got a few people here, and we'll see. Hey, maybe noon works better, maybe it doesn't, maybe there's a better time altogether, but try it this way this time. And only one more left, right? Getting close, getting close. So, hey, if you're new here, first time, I will be going ahead and watching it, and I'll have the time as to when in the episode we're at up here on top, so you can make sure to try to be synced up with me as I go ahead and watch. So pull it up over on your Disney Plus or whatever. Hello there, Obi-Wan. Okay. So hopefully everyone had a good day. We can talk more about this at some point too, in case you're not aware of all of the new shows and whatnot that just got announced yesterday for Star Wars. We had 10 shows announced, including more seasons of Mandalorian, so that one isn't a big surprise. But and then also this side, also one movie, Rogue Squadron. Oh hey, well, let me get that audio a little better there. Ooh, sorry about that. Let me fix that for a second here. There we go. Sorry about that. Audio was probably a little muffled, and then I think I hit the mic a little too, so should be good now though. Okay. Well, let's see. So we do have a couple here. I think we'll just talk Star Wars for a quick little bit, see if we pop any more people here into the next couple minutes. So Obi-Wan, you were here last time, so we talked about this yesterday. I was going to say, one thing really cool. If you haven't seen it yet, over on Twitter, Patty Jenkins posted something regarding the fact she's directing Rogue One. And oh man, I mean, to be honest, we didn't really see much as far as the Investor Day thing for Disney that really got you psyched up much for Rogue One, other than the fact that it's her. I keep saying Rogue One. I mean to say Rogue Squadron. Anyway, not much that really psyched you up, except for the fact that it was Rogue Squadron and that it's a movie. So if you know the background to Star Wars, that helps psych you up that way. But Patty Jenkins' video, oof, I wish they had shown that there, because that psyched me up for it. Yeah. As I said, no, that one was good, and as I said, you just see how much of a Star Wars fan she is, how much of a fighter pilot fan she is, and obviously she can make good movies too, so. So that, yeah. Looking forward to that. I don't know who all we'll see. Obviously, the old stuff isn't canon anymore. I assume we'll see Wedge. I assume we'll see Tycho Selchu. Beyond that, I wouldn't get too reliant on whatever might have existed before. So, but at least, our couple biggest characters, I'm going to guess they'll be around. But beyond that, yeah, who knows? I actually did see Michael Stackpole interacting with her up over there too, which I thought that was actually pretty cool. For those who don't know, Michael Stackpole is the author who wrote the book Rogue Squadron, and, well, also a bunch of the X-Wing books and graphic novels and such. So, I said not all of the X-Wing books, but a bunch of them anyway. So that was pretty cool too. Okay. Well, we will go ahead and get started. We got a couple minutes, probably, or minute and a half, something of previously on, so that'll take a moment to get through anyway. So I am going to go ahead and get that started here in a second. I'll get that timer going up above me up here. So here we go.
You have something I want.
Oh god. Just last episode still. Oh, next season we get a new ship though. And just that little tease of the Dark Troopers.
Return to you safely. You're in your debt.
I don't.
Marshal of the New
So cool to
Republic.
have the two of them
I
with
need you
as
to
well.
locate someone in the prison registry. Ex-Imperial sharpshooter. Last name Mayfeld.
I admit when I watched it the first time I skipped it, so I don't know exactly what all popped up in the previously on, but
Realize what you're gonna bring down on us.
Think I care about that? Get that blast out of my face.
I can't do that.
this is a good episode. Yeah, back last season. And intriguingly, Rick Famuyiwa, who directed this one from last time, is the one who directed this episode this time. I think you're getting the audio from my side. Oh, jeez. You are indeed. Ew. Not sure why I had my desktop audio up, but I did, so... Well, it's down now. We'll see if YouTube gets complaining about that, huh? Thanks for mentioning it there. That's pretty short previously on, actually. Relatively. Oh, this is cool. Just all the old Imperial ships everywhere. You see tons of TIE fighters up here. And some more of these repurposed AT-ATs up running around and being used to just haul cargo or scrap, as the case may be, I suppose. This is cool. It's cool to see this side of things. It's not necessarily what we would normally go and see. It's funny, when I first saw it, made me think of something back from, what was it, from Clone Wars, where we first went ahead into that one planet, or I think it was actually a moon, where they were dealing with tons of scrap. Of course, that planet was way nastier than this one here. Yes, world building like this definitely works. It's like we just see a little bit more and not a ton. Yeah, I said, love the ATSD right there, too. Oh god, it's like, it's common courtesy, tell me. It's like, yeah, you'd want to know, but of course, as a prisoner, he's not going to get anything. Oh, by the way, look at Boba. Oh, so much cooler there. He's got the black underneath there. Oh man. Yes, and the paint on it, so it's looking good. I mean, oh man, it's looking good. Yeah, it's the one that Savage went to look for Maul. Exactly, that one. That was what it made me think of at first, but this planet is way nicer than that. Man, yeah, just how much you wouldn't want to see Din at this point. Well, hey, I'll work out for you. By the way, I had completely missed my guess on this episode because I thought the big thing was going to be breaking into a rebel outpost. Well, sorry, not a rebel outpost, a New Republic. By the way, the Believer. As I said, took me a bit, but I did come upon the guess at that. I was actually voting that it had to do more with not Din necessarily, but actually the watch as a whole, and we might see somebody else there. Back to my idea that we were going to have this getting a gang together kind of thing. But yeah, as I was saying there, I really thought it was going to be a full raid and a full break-in to go ahead and bust this guy out, as well as the couple other people we saw before last season. So definitely did not catch it. At least they didn't say, well, we won't shoot you. The problem is when that's all you're offering them, dang, you got to worry about them turning on you if that's all you're going to say. But dang, Boba Fett looks cool now. Can't say he looks anything but so much cooler in that. And that really feels like you reused the graphic pretty closely to what we had back over earlier. But, no, over on Navarro, I should say. It's a similar setup. Not the same, but... But yeah, no, I thought this was going to be a big jailbreak episode, especially because Rick Famuyiwa directing it. Now I can see the hallmarks of Rick Famuyiwa directing the one in season 1 and this one here in season 2, definitely. But definitely a different type of episode altogether. But still, if we're really talking about it, they are kind of both heist movies, or really when it comes to them. Alright, I'll pop this up while I'm at it. There we go. Might just. Rare Star Wars vehicle with wheels on it. Yeah, it seems that way sometimes, don't it? Especially because, I mean, after all, we've got hover, on everything. Got a repulsor lift, so why go ahead and actually have wheels? I loved that moment there. Even that first moment where you're going, are you sick of it? I said, after all, for Grogu, would he go ahead and break those rules? See, this is what gives Imperials a bad name right here. I love that. Man, he's having so much fun with this, right? No, it was so much fun to pair those two up in this one because they play off each other really well, actually. And Din, as talkative as ever. Of course, in fairness, even more so. You want to talk to this guy? No, of course you don't. Just trying to get a rise out of him, trying to get anything out of him there. Man, I definitely we've got to go ahead and get our Boba Fett show with Boba and Fennec in there at some point. Oh, well, hello there, Maximilian. Yes, classic duo, the straight man and the funny man. Yes, indeed. It's like, yes, indeed. Classic because it works. Hallmarks of war, right? So have we brought Rhydonium up much before in Star Wars? Outside of Clone Wars and Rebels. Outside of those shows. Have we mentioned it much? I'm honestly not sure if it's popped much into live action before. Rather Boba not get his own series, but more of a wandering guest star that comes in and out. Yeah, I can see that. I can say I'm more the other direction though, but I can see that. You want to leave a little more mystery with Boba Fett right there, huh? Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Obi. I love him actually bringing some of the philosophy in here, though, and actually and really trying to break Din down a bit by talking about that. I'm really trying to, which it's a great way of getting Din to actually potentially start to question those different things, if he thinks about it anyway. This. And did just not reacting. But oh, you know it's got to be going through Din's head at the moment there. But no, I love that because, I mean, he's got a point. He really legitimately does when he's talking about these things to Din here. Yes, it's a very important line, whether you're talking about taking off the Mando helmet or not showing the face. The point is making your rules, bending them just a bit. How far do you keep bending them before they break entirely? And how important are those rules, really? Why? And as I said, when you have both that piece earlier about, oh, we need to show the face, and then we've got this line here, you can tell we're foreshadowing heavy, too. We are heavily pushing into this issue. Although it's not completely without precedent, because he also definitely poked fun at Din and wanted to see Din's face back in Season 1 as well, so it's not without precedent there. By the way, we call these people pirates, right? Pirates whose entire point is just blowing up the thing. It seems more likely these are freedom fighters than that they're actually pirates. I mean, the only way in which they're pirates is they're trying to blow these up and then sell Rhydonium over to the Imperials, but it's not quite the impression you get. The impression is clearly that these are local natives who actually are, well, native to a degree, I guess, at least, anyway, who are trying to defend their planet. Which, at the same time, makes you go, which side are we on right now? Because it's really messy if you look at it that way. would be a lot easier if these people really are pirates, because that way, oh, okay, nah, it's no problem that we're taking them out. But if these people are freedom fighters, we're busy killing freedom fighters in Crunch, then this rather used to your nice Beskar armor that could take that hit, right? But anyway, if these are actually freedom fighters and you're busy killing them in order to do your mission, it's like, oh man. Yo. Talking about gray areas right there. It's a case of having to make it so the ends justify the means. Yeah. Oh, and that, by the way, that was a great device to use right there. The fact that they can't just speed away and really get away from these people using the Rhydonium and its instability that way. It was a good plot device to make that work. And yes, I can call it a plot device and still it can be a good thing at the same time. I mean, the one with Din's blaster running out that fast, it's a little more shaky on a plot device, to be frank. I mean, it got some great fight sequences in here, but really? The blaster ran out that easy? I mean, see, this is why the Imperials always fail, right? Man, yeah, I should have set such a shorter timer on that. If you're them and watching this thermal detonator coming your way, you're like, oh, crap. Well, and I don't think these aliens that we've seen before, I don't recognize the facial features on those aliens. Could be wrong. Yeah, at first you think they're good. Then we just bring them out everywhere. And clearly they are desperate at this time when they are arming thermal detonators, every one of them. I mean, it's the other thing that says these people are not pirates. Pirates, once you're taking that kind of losses, they're going to be done. These people are coming at you with everything they're worth, and now look at them arming the thermal detonators, even with the danger that poses to them. Yeah. Where are you going? Are we rooting for the TIE fighters right now? Oh, how they have thermal detonators and spears but no blasters. Yeah. Wherever they get their arms from, whoever's supplying them, right? Don't know what they can pay with either, for that matter. Although, if we're going to really go for the show side, the reason they don't have blasters is because we wanted a nice fight sequence, but... Yes. Now, if they had blasters, Din might have just got himself killed, not thinking about the fact he wasn't wearing his good armor, right? But even then, it wouldn't have been as fun a fight sequence, and there's that too. But agreed. That's why they didn't actually have blasters. By the way, this whole piece with all the Imperials, you know, being celebratory, and it's like, you know, it also makes them feel very real, very much just people. Maybe all their blasters ran out of ammo, right? Just like Din's did. But yeah, even though most of these people are helmeted, they do feel real that way. And it's interesting to see some of the people who are miners back in there, the dirty faces in here. The Empire doesn't give it... No, certainly not many victories nowadays. Certainly not. Yeah. I love it. I said, you see this setup? As we foreshadowed heavily toward before, what you willing to do for Grogu, huh? Yeah. Now that said, if he hadn't met Bo-Katan earlier and Boba Fett just the other episode, then I think there would be a lot more question whether he was willing to do this. I think that helps allow him to give himself the reason to be able to bend the rules, because not all Mandalorians are that way. So it's just like that piece in the back of the head that helps give you that right to do it. But even then, he still tries this right here first, knowing it's not going to. And he's calling so much more attention to himself right now, too. Whereas if he had just done it. And look at that, by the way. Only the second time in the show we have seen Din's face. At this point, you're going, okay, fine. Well, they're only seeing a profile of my face. They're not really seeing my face right now. I didn't show my face to someone. I showed my face to a computer. I mean, these have to be the excuses going through the head at the moment, right? And where you're going, dang it. I'm going to get my helmet back on before he gets here. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Because this, how do you excuse this one? This is clearly showing your face. So if you're just thinking through the head, or this, it's like not giving it a designation. It's like, dang, man. How awkward is, yeah, so awkward here. No kidding. He doesn't talk much anyway, but also not having talked face to face. It's like, I mean, he's just so utterly awkward because of that. Oh, that right there. And for Din, now you've had two people see your face, and it's just compounding for you. It's like, oh. And you're not able to get away. Of course, not the only one hoping to get out of this situation. Oh, this scene up here. It's a good scene. Glorious Bastard survives. Yeah. Easily enough done for a couple snipers. Let alone the best shot in the galaxy over here. This. Oh, man. Man, just letting that get in. It's like so much for sticking to the mission. Oh, yeah, the tension here is great. Just that tiny shake of the head. Don't do it. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe not so good there. Oh, yeah. It's good acting, definitely. Is order. Oh, the imperial philosophy right there. I mean, and that you're just like, holy shit, you just did that. Damn. Is there any of the other Imperials here going, what the? By the way, but seriously, the thoughts of any empire. Yes. That instability in their country, they'll greet us as liberators, as people bringing order. Every empire. Love this. The view's nice going down here, too. There are just pieces about that just make me feel video game a little bit in there as they're out on the walkway on the outside. Bringing in the music. And just watch these shots, right? It's interesting. You can see a difference in the quality of shots too. I mean, if we're looking at Fennec shots tend to be straight kill shots, whereas Cara Dune's, you see some neck and shoulders hit some more up here. They're a little more precarious, it seems. And this is cool. Just bringing the ship in here, the running jump out. Nah, it's a heck of an escape. Love it. I just love that move out of him and that move as him as a character right there. Yes, Slave One is a cool freaking ship. I love it. It's like, ooh, 2 TIE fighters versus Boba Fett in Slave 1. Whatever will happen. Although, to be honest, what we end up doing, this is not what I would have expected. I mean, it's cool. It's definitely a callback as well at the same time. But I would have thought he would have just shot them out of the sky. Point being, though, again, Boba Fett in Slave 1 versus 2 TIE fighters. That is not a match right there. So cool. Bill Burr, yes, surprised me in this episode, too. I mean, he was a fun character last time. This time, though, he's so much better a character, though, on top of that from where he was last time. It's like you see so much more of his character this time around. It is. It is. I remember, Ben Burt going ahead and talking about creating that one, too. Talking about the silence being the idea behind that one and how it worked. So, cool thought process and idea, too. If you're him right now, don't you have to be... You have to have this question. You're letting me go, right? You're not planning on then killing me and using that as an excuse, right? Because you're not going to shoot me in the back, right? And by the way, this is not going to be the last time we see him. I mean, he's going to pop into season 3 somewhere. Definitely somewhere in season 3. Back to Gideon and his ship. The Republic is a little loosey-goosey with his prisoners and who they arrest, huh? Just a bit. True. If not season 3, he could pop into one of the others. This feels so Liam Neeson from Taken right here. But give him up now, and we can forget this. But if you don't, I've developed a special set of skills. I will find you, and I will kill you. But that's it at the same time. Really? You think you're going to intimidate Moff Gideon right here? Really, Dan? I mean, that's my flip side comment is... No way. I don't think Gideon is intimidated by Din Djarin. By the way, look at this concept art. I love it. Although, Gideon looks so funky in this one here. And I know I'm calling it concept art. I don't think it's quite that, but point being, not quite the accurate call of it. Yeah, cool stuff. It's interesting how in that one you had them coming up actually up the sides of the transport. No, I don't think Gideon's too high up, although again he is a Moff. But even so, I don't think he's intimidated by someone like Din Djarin, though. So, anyway, that would be another one there. Yeah, I could just go. Bye. Yeah. No, it's a good episode. I said, Mark Famayo did a good job again. Bringing in some of the other people we had. Worked really well here. I missed a whole bunch of guesses on what exactly would happen in this episode, that's for sure. Certainly our last bit of setup before we hit the season finale. And intriguingly, it was a good episode. Most certainly was. I think it's actually in the bottom half of the season for me, and that's really just because there have been so many good episodes this season. It's not that it's a bad episode. It just doesn't hit as high. Even though we have pieces like Din taking his helmet off, we have the great interactions between the two, we have Din having to really confront those lines in himself. But, and I mean, that's going to pay off dividends later. Oh, we have to see him run into the watch now. That's going to be an interaction. What does Din say when he finally gets back to the watch? Does he lie to them and say that he's still never taken his helmet off? Or does he tell them the actual truth? And before he sees the watch again, is he going to see Jose, Bo-Katan again? And, prior to that point. Interesting questions. Let's see. Maximilian, you want Moff Gideon to be a real player on the galactic scale, get him a superstar destroyer. Well, that would be a really big player right there. Yeah. No, if we want the really big player, I mean, you don't get much bigger than Grand Admiral Thrawn right there. That's getting in here and then up a few levels and a few levels more, and then, hey, look, way up there. There's Thrawn. So, just a few levels up higher. Okay. So another good episode. More expansion of our universe right there. Galaxy, rather. It's interesting whether you call it the Star Wars universe or the Star Wars galaxy sometimes. I mean, they get interchanged. Really always have, haven't they? I mean, technically, if you go into the books, I don't know that anything that's technically canon now goes beyond the galaxy. But anyway. Let's see. Never removed his Beskar helmet, and it was not removed by someone else. Well, just saying. I think he kind of did remove the Beskar helmet at a point. So yes, I guess that's your bet is that we'll just skirt the truth. We won't outright lie, but I'll just hope that your question is worded in a way, and they'll say, I never removed my Beskar helmet in front of anyone. Yeah. Could be what he ends up doing. But as the cracks in his Beskar armor are starting to show, shall we say. Let's see. Exactly what I've been saying over there on that, that we won't see Thrawn. Well, not till after the Ahsoka show, but I think in the course of the Ahsoka show eventually. So, agreed. Same thing he did to the Magistrate in the Ahsoka episode. Yeah, I agree. I think that's a likely prospect of what he'll do, but it's not the same thing. He doesn't mind bending the truth when it's to the Magistrate. But when he's bending the truth and doing that to the rest of his people, to the Watch, that's a different matter right there. I don't think that quite plays off the same way. If he does that, that's crossing another line for him. Because now he's okay with, if not saying an outright lying, he's bending the truth to create lies of omission. So, and that breaks this, it breaks a strong bond he has with the other people that are over there in the Watch. And I think that is again, a big line to cross right there. You want the show to become following Din in the liberation of Mandalore. I don't know that I do. I mean, that feels like that's Bo-Katan's show, not Din Djarin's show, though. I don't know if we'll get a Bo-Katan show, but that feels like it would be her show. I said Din is a bit player in that one, not the person in that arc. But that's my thought on the matter anyway. Yeah. Obi, not thinking he would be able to lie to his own people. It's like, yeah, it's like that's the question, and I don't know for sure. I do suppose it depends on how long it is till he sees the watch again. How much else has changed? Has he met more, Bo-Katan and or other Mandalorians in the meantime? Heck, he's got Boba next to him. He is a Mandalorian. And all of that is also helping break down that barrier. And right now it's all about how he justifies this to himself. Because he is very much, well, as the title of the episode is, he's, one of the believers in the dogma of the watch. And people will go all kinds of ways to go justify their beliefs and whatever they do to deviate from it, too. And it's not like this is just some minor sin or something of that nature. This is a whole you're exiled if you go ahead and do it kind of thing. So, yeah. Well, Bo may certainly be a flawed leader. I'm not going to go ahead and deny or argue that point. I still think it's Bo's arc. It's certainly not Din's arc, though, if we're talking about the liberation of Mandalore. Regardless of who becomes said leader. And I don't think Din is the proper leader of Mandalore either. I think you need to find someone else entirely if we're talking that. But wherever. Oh, hi, Fire Llama. No worries. It said, good to see you around, though. I said, feel free to always leave comments in. I said, always good to see people pop up that I've been seeing everywhere. And yeah, you're definitely one of them. So, good to see you around. Okay. So, Mandalorian, we've got one episode left in Season 2. And we did not get a Boba Fett show announced. All of these other shows sitting around me, including Ahsoka over there. But no Boba Fett show announced. Even though, if there was one spinoff that had the most heavy set of rumors on it, it was the possibility of a Boba Fett spinoff. Heck, that was the big talk of what was filming even potentially over there before the next season of Mandalorian. So it's very interesting we didn't get an announcement on that. Not entirely sure what to think about that one for sure. My guess right now, I'm going with it's a spinoff of season 3, therefore we haven't announced it yet. But we probably did actually do the filming, and it's going to go ahead and actually pop up after that season and probably shortly thereafter. So just into 2022. So maybe a January, February, even March possibly release right there. That's my guess. Oh, yes. What I think of the Bad Batch trailer. Oh, man. Yeah, I said I live streamed all that out too, and that was so cool. It was sad. Most of Star Wars we didn't get to see much of anything for, which, that was frustrating as they kept cutting away. But Bad Batch, we actually did get to go ahead and see a trailer on that. And first off, right off the bat, the animation quality is so dang good. That is definitely Season 7 caliber or Season 7 plus. Maybe, as I said, certainly if we're talking the season as a whole, anyway. It's like, whew. And then, as I said, getting to see all our people in there. Heck, we got an image of the Emperor at one point talking to everybody, and you got even the big expanse of all the different clones and whatnot out there. And then on top of that, we got to see Fennec a couple times pop up in there, so that was intriguing. So we're actually going to get some Fennec backstory in the course of Bad Batch. Now, it's like, ultimately, it really didn't probably reveal too much about specific people who will show up or won't show up in the course of Bad Batch. We can make our guesses, but oh yeah. At some point I'll have to analyze that one a little deeper. I'm sure there's more to see in there too. I wonder if we'll see Boba in the Bad Batch. I'm going to make a bet we will. With how Boba popped up in Clone Wars as much as he did, I'm going to say that Boba will pop up into Bad Batch sometime. Especially because we got some of the premise of Bad Batch that they're going to be going out and being mercenaries. so they won't be in the Empire anymore. Given that leads to a lot more possibility of them running across paths with Boba, I think. Oh, how much you wanted to see Andor in the end. Although we didn't, I was really hoping for some actual footage or something of it more than what we got. Most of it was just Rogue One footage, really. But still, yes. And I'm having a hard time calling it Andor still and not Cassian Andor, but got so used to calling it the Cassian Andor show, but yes, no, that definitely sounds cool. This is the one that I know so little about where the heck this one's going right here. The Rangers of the New Republic. I really thought this episode we would go ahead and pop by a New Republic base, and that's where we'd be breaking... Man, I can't think of his name right now. Anyway, where we'd be breaking him out of. And I thought that might give us a chance to see some more potential Rangers, but we didn't do that. And I don't know that they're popping up in the next episode either at this point, so it's very interesting. I'm not sure who we're focused on. Now, if it weren't for the fact that Rogue Squadron is being made, I would think that Wedge would certainly be a possibility up here in Rangers of the New Republic. But Wedge is certainly going to have to pop up here in Rogue Squadron. So, I don't know. I'm not sure who we're going to really look at. I mean, we've got one person that we introduced this season, but beyond that, I don't know. I'll remind you of a Babylon 5 spinoff. I can see that. Good show. I've never actually watched any of the other pieces, just the main show. But yeah. What else do we got in there? Oh, it looked amazing. Echo looked so different. Oh yeah. Yeah, speaking back of Bad Batch. Man, no, I said that was exciting. And I think that was the other problem, as far as getting excitement for much of anything else that's sitting up and around me right here, is really the only... There it is. Kind of off to the edge here. Bad Batch. But anyway, Bad Batch is the only one we really got footage from. These others... Hard to say. I mean, we might have some ideas of what we might see, say, in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Certainly we can make our guesses there and find out that, hey, we've got confirmation Hayden Christensen will go ahead and be playing Darth Vader. Now that's cool. Acolyte, we finally got information about where the heck it is and a little more about what it's going to be. I mean, previously we'd heard it was in a time period we hadn't seen before, a part of the galaxy we hadn't seen. Now we know it's the late High Republic, and that it's going to be something to do with the dark side, so that's pretty cool. Cassian Andor, we have a pretty decent idea what to expect. Visions, I have no idea what to expect at all on Visions. I have all kinds of different hopes, but no idea. Got some big hopes on where that one might go. Lando, definitely different possibilities. Also wondering if it might pick up the mantle from Solo or not. And not a lot of hopes on this one here on the droid one. So, and that one that my head's mainly hiding. Yeah, it's not like we saw any video from it. But did we need any video from it to go hype us up for Ahsoka? Probably not so much. Okay. Well, so one episode left of Mandalorian. I'm still going to go ahead and guess that we're leaving off the season on a cliffhanger. And I really don't think Gideon gets finished off this season. I think Gideon gets finished off at earliest at the end of season 3. That's my thought there. So, and if that's the case, I don't think we see Bo-Katan in the finale. Bo-Katan will pop up whenever we have a final confrontation with Gideon. I think she has to, because we set up that clear collision, but as I said, I don't think this is where we finish off Gideon. Therefore, I don't think we'll actually see Bo-Katan this time either. So, I said, I don't see Bo-Katan popping up. I certainly don't see Ahsoka popping up here in the finale. As to whoever the Jedi is Grogu contacted, maybe. If so, I think it's going to be like a tease at the very, very end of the episode. And even at that, they might not have cast whoever, so maybe it's even a tease without showing a face per se, or something like that. I'm thinking that might be more along the lines of where they'll end up going. Din wins the Darksaber, and then Bo-Katan ends up becoming the antagonist in the Saberback. Oh, interesting. I have a feeling that someone will lose a limb. Certainly possible. Someone might lose a life, too, for that matter. I mean, I was talking earlier about Grief Karga potentially losing his life in terms of upping the danger factor of Gideon. But Grief Karga isn't around right now. Cara Dune is. It is possible Cara Dune actually gets killed by him. So, because that would definitely go ahead and up the stakes and go ahead and make him more powerful, more of a worry. On the other hand, you could even save that death for episode 1 of season 3 just to set the season up on the stakes. Hard to say. But yeah, I said I think Cara seems the most likely prospect. I really don't think we're going to kill Boba Fett or Fennec, so... But yeah, it could be that someone just loses a limb instead, too. Trailer for Ahsoka series was, Mando season 2, episode 5. No kidding. No kidding, that is for sure. That is for sure. So yeah, that's my guesses here on the finale. Things aren't going to go ahead and work out well in one more episode. I mean, regardless, there's no way you wrap up all of that in one episode. There's just too much left in it still anyway. But we should finally get to see the Dark Troopers in action. That should finally happen next episode. We've been building that up for a little bit, just teasing, drip feeding us a little bit more and a little bit more on those Dark Troopers. So, coming soon to a small screen near us. Oh, I hope it's about an hour long, too. Oh, give us one of the longest episodes of the show right there. Give us some time for this. So, what about Cobb Vanth? Do you think everyone thinks Cobb Vanth is going to come back in next season? I'm not sure what our excuse is, but it could be one of those getting a much bigger gang together kind of things to go take on Gideon, right? Something like that. And we love going to Tatooine. We'll find an excuse to do it in season 3. Okay. What else do you guys got to say here on the 7th episode of season 2, or chapter 15? Anything else, or should we go break off for the day? Okay. Looks like we about covered it all, huh? Okay. Well, with that, we'll see if YouTube gets unhappy because I had the actual audio up and caught a bit of that, so we'll see if it gets a copyright claim over that. Hopefully not, but it's part of why I'm doing this and putting the chat up here on the side, so that way at least even if it does and the chat replay is not there, at least it's preserved here. So at least it'll be visible. So yeah, worst comes to worst. Well, anyway, with all of that said, next time I will see you all will be next Friday for a live stream, as far as live streams are concerned anyway. So next Friday, we'll finish debating out the time, potentially noon again. So, unless I hear some strong consensus some other direction, which people are more than welcome to chime in down in the comments below or let me know, and we'll figure that out then. In the meantime, everyone, have a magical day, and may the Force be with you, always.